kita saksikan penampilan D&D Darwin Nasution Dance. Oke, mana tepuk tangannya yang meriah dong?
Cuplak suwange tinggal lenter membuka tondong kuda pak empong lerak lere sopong guyung dele ake sir pong dele kopong sir pong dele kopong ampar pisangku belum masak sabigi diurung bari manggalepok patah kayu bengkok dimakan api apinya cangcurupan rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi lihat dari jauh rasa sayangi. Honke riro, honke jomne riro, honke riro, honke jomne riro.
Wow, dari DND, keren banget. Wah, tepuk tangannya dong lagi yang lebih meriah. Oke, sebelumnya terima kasih ya kepada DND, keren banget. Dapat 4 jempol dari MC. Oke, teman-teman, selanjutnya MC akan diambil alih sepenuhnya oleh Kazia karena kita akan memasuki acara International Guest Lecture.
Oleh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The International Guest Lecture will be started in about a minute. Please find yourself a seat and be reminded to put your phones into silent mode. Thank you.
Umat ngagandeng bangun taya karendang nganggo sinjang di lamban mojang priangan umat imut surak seri nyari larak lirik kepan mojang priangan diraksukan kebayang ngambihan cahayana dangdusan sederhana mojang priangan mundi sanggu ayu mundi sinjang mundi erong dina mojang diraksukan kebayang lambihan cahayana dangdusan sederhana mojang priangan garelis maranis disinjang lalenjang estu suruh lempang mojang priangan digigirna eung diharepna sieu ti tukangna enjang mojang priangan diraksukan kebayang lambihan cahayana dangdusan sederhana mojang
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi sholli wa yassirli amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli amma ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Excellency Vice Dean for Finance and Infrastructure, Dr. Andes Adi Prasetyo, MSI AKCA. The Excellency Head of Development Economics, Mr. Sri Wahyudi, MA. The honorable speakers, Professor Dr. Stanislaw Flattersky from WSB University Poznan, and Dr. Diah Titis Kusuma Wardani from University of Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta. The honorable lecturers of Development Economics Department, the honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 International Guest Lecture, The Role of International Trade on Sustainable Development. My name is Zia, and I will be the master of ceremony for this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up to sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya and Sang Surya. Sang Surya.
Tuhan
and gentlemen, please kindly take your seat as we are about to continue our agenda, which is the sacred recitations of the Holy Quran presented by esteemed Nurul Shahida.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu idza qila lakum tafassahu fil majalis idza qila lakum tafassahu fil majalisi fafsahu yafsahillahu lakum. Wa idza qila suzu yarfa'illahu alladzina amanu minkum. Yarfa'illahu alladzina amanu minkum walladzina utul ilma darajat. Wallahu bima ta'maluna khabir. Wallahu bima ta'maluna khabir. Shadaqallahul azim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Without any further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Andes Adi Prasetyo, MSc AKCA, the Vice Dean for Finance and Infrastructure, Faculty of Economics and Business, to give the opening remark. Dr. Andes Adi Prasetyo, please, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. The Honorable Professor Dr. Stanislaw from WSB University Poland, yang saya hormati Ibu Dr. Diah Titis Kusuma Wardani, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, yang hadir secara online. Yang saya hormati Bapak Ibu, yang saya hormati Bapak Ketua Program Studi Ekonomi Pembangunan beserta Sekretaris Prodi Ekonomi Pembangunan, dan saya hormati Bapak Ibu dosen Program Studi Ekonomi Pembangunan yang sempat hadir pada pagi hari ini, dan juga saudara-saudara mahasiswa baru dan juga mahasiswa semester 3 yang hadir pada saat ini. Terima kasih kami sampaikan kepada kalian semua untuk berpartisipasi dalam kegiatan kita pagi hari ini. Thank you to Professor Dr. Stanislaw for your readiness give international guest lecture for our student. Yeah. Dan juga kami sampaikan terima kasih kepada Dr. Diah Savitri yang bersedia memberikan kuliah tamu guest lecture internasional ini. Tema kita hari ini adalah The Role of International Trade on Sustainable Development. Ya, ini merupakan satu tema yang sangat tepat ya untuk kita bahas pada pagi hari ini. Mengingat bahwa perdagangan internasional itu merupakan suatu aktivitas yang melibatkan berbagai negara, karena kita tidak mungkin hidup sendirian, ya. Dibutuhkan interaksi dengan berbagai negara untuk terus-menerus sustainable, ya, untuk tetap sustain di dalam menghadapi berbagai permasalahan dalam kehidupan ekonomi dunia ini. Nah, pembahasan pagi hari ini sangat penting bagi mahasiswa, mengingat 3,5 tahun atau 4 tahun ke depan kalian akan menghadapi dunia nyata. Tentu dengan keterlibatan, dengan pemahaman mengenai sustainability development terkait dengan perdagangan internasional, ini akan membekali ya, kira-kira ke depan kalian akan menuju kemana kalau mau beraktivitas di perdagangan internasional, produk apa yang bisa diekspor, dan seterusnya. Itu bisa mulai dipikirkan sejak sekarang. Ya, saudara sekalian, tentu aktivitas kita pada pagi hari ini akan sangat bermanfaat untuk langkah kalian berikutnya, ya, menghadapi untuk menerima hal-hal baru terkait dengan dunia internasional, terutama di bidang perdagangan. Baiklah Bapak Ibu sekalian, pada kesempatan yang berbahagia ini saya ucapkan selamat kepada seluruh peserta yang mengikuti kegiatan ini. Semoga kegiatan pada pagi ini memberikan manfaat pada kita semua. Dan marilah kegiatan ini kita buka dengan bersama-sama mengucapkan basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih. Thank you for all. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Andes Adi Prasetyo. We move on to our main agenda for today, the International Guest Lecture, The Role of International Trade on Sustainable Development, which is going to be moderated by Ms. Happy Febrina. Ms. Happy Febrina is one of the lecturers of Development Economics. Without any further ado, I will invite Ms. Happy Febrina to go on stage and lead the discussion. Please welcome Ms. Happy Febrina.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zia, for your kind introduction. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya wa din. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi israh li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. Good morning, His Excellency Vice Dean for Finance and Infrastructure, Dr. Andes Adi Prasetyo, Head of Development Economics Department, Mr. Sri Wahyudi, MA, Head of International Relationship Office, Faculty of Economics and Business, Dr. Uci Yuliati, all lecturers from Development Economics Department, the honorable speakers, distinguished guests, participants, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International Guest Lecture held by Development Economics Department. My name is Happy Febrina, and I'm a lecturer from Department of Development Economics, and I will be serving you as a moderator for today's session with the theme of the role of international trade on sustainable development. International trade plays a pivotal role in sustainable development by fostering economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction, while necessitating responsible environmental stewardship and equitable social development. Striking a balance through fair trade and eco-conscious policies is crucial for a sustainable future. To respond those issues, we have special guests here from two different organizations globally, and I will invite Professor Stanislaw Fleterski from WSP University Poznan, Poland, to come on stage. Also, I would like to say hello to another respected speaker who is already joining us in Zoom, Dr. Dia Titis Kusumawardani from University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Good morning, Dr. Titis.
Good morning. My voice is clear. Sister Happy, Febrina.
Yes, we can hear your sound clearly.
Thank you.
Before we get started, I would like to give you some information about the session. For respected speakers, you will have a maximum of 45 minutes to present your presentation. And for the audiences here, you may address your questions, opinions, or suggestions in the Q&A session later when the discussion is in the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to our first speaker today, Professor Stanislaw Fleterski from WSP University, Poland. Professor Fleterski is a professor and lecturer of economic sciences at WSP University in Poznan, Poland. His main expertise are economics, finance, banking, financial markets, international finance, and methodology of finances. He has published nearly 500 papers. He's also an author of over 50 books, and also he has published numerous publications in journals, papers, and conference papers. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Stanislaw Fleterski. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's my first day in my life in Indonesia. First impression were very, very interesting. For 44 hours trip from Polandia to Malang. Next slide. Good morning, Indonesia. Good morning, East Java. Good morning, Malang. And good morning, University. Hello, welcome. Hi, selamat datang. Cześć, witajcie. It is in Polish language. Yeah, next time. Yeah. I would like to thank, special thanks for Mr. Dimas Arif Prasetyo for special help, extraordinary hospitality, for Mrs. Happy, and for Mr. Muhammad, yeah, for special transfer from airport in Surabaya to Malang. Yeah? Mr. Muhammad. Who I am, Mrs. Happy said a little about my personality, area, my career, some data, author many books and so on, many essays, supervisor of about 20 doctoral dissertation, managerial function, and scientific stay scholarship in Switzerland, in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, in Germany, in New York, in Philadelphia, in Wharton, guest lecture, such today, Mexico, Celaya, Turkey, Istanbul, Italy, and Germany. Next slide, please. Maybe it is interesting for you. I was 9 years director, manager in banks, in commercial banks in Poland. Next slide. This is joke only, yeah? This is joke only. Professor, yeah, it is open question. You can choose, yeah, what will be. I think this sixth position, what I actually do, yeah, I hope so. Next slide. Two thinkers, yeah, this in University Celaya in Mexico, yeah, great thinker and small thinker. Small, this is I. Yeah? Next. My students from Mexico, I hope I will be the same photo with you today after this lecture, if possible, yeah? Thank you. Next slide. So many books, yeah? Not all, but I have wrote many books. Then next slide. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. Cicero. Is my sentence too. Yeah? Oh, it is my dream. My dream is library. I express to you. And next slide. Some books they are wrote, yeah, my books in Polish and in English and so on. Yeah. Next. Two examples. This is from Free University Amsterdam. Theoretische Aspekten van de exportdiversificatie. This is my publication you can find in internet. Next. And newest publication is a chapter in financing sustainable development, paragraph Macmillan. Very, I think so, very interesting chapter about sustainable financial systems. You can find in internet too. That's only examples, sorry. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah, next. Stability, the greatest good in turbulent and dangerous times. Stability. The world stands at a turning point. We live in a time of turbulence and radical uncertainty, but this is also a time of enormous opportunity. Next, this. golden thoughts, my golden, maybe you can discuss with this human thought is the most important thing. Everything is more complicated than the people think. The world is one, but we look at it through different windows. I have this window, you have another window. We are not objective. No man has monopoly on wisdom. None, yeah? I don't have monopoly on wisdom. Nothing is given once and for all. It is good for Indonesia, it is good for Polandia, it is good for China, for USA, and so on. There is enough space for everyone under the great roof of heaven. I am optimist. I hope so. Yeah? But they are in wars. For example, war between Russia and Ukraine. Sorry. Yeah? Next, yeah. Next. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. This is my dream for today, the lecture. Anyone who claims to understand economic development completely or to have found the key to the secret of economic growth is likely to be a fool or charlatan or both. We continue to subscribe to the assertion that everything is more complicated than most people think. This special sentence from Mr. Kindleberger. Yeah, of course. Next. More important question than definitive answer. This is my idea for today. Next. Answer. You see, simple but wrong. Many people. Complex but right. Only 3 people. Yeah? I think so that this left is wrong. Right is right. Yeah, next. Investing in your mind is the best investment you can make in your entire. Investing in mind. Economics. I think that economics is very important for me, for today. Economics is most important, most interesting, and most difficult. Important, yeah, interesting, and difficult. And this, you see the structure of economics. You know this. You study first year, yeah? First year and second year, yeah? You know this structure, of course. You see here, for example, economic system. You can see economic development, of course, microeconomics, and so on and so on. Financial economics, it is my area, public economics, and so on. Now, this is normal. You study in this department, on this faculty, of course. Next slide. Is economics science or art? It's a long discussion about this topic. Economics is not only science, but also an art. It is science in its methodology and art in its application. Last sentence, yeah? Economics is science and art. It is on the border. Next. Context is important. Next. Economics and other subject sciences. Economics has contacts with philosophy and ethics, with politics, with psychology, with sociology, mathematics, with physics, anthropology, biology, and ecology. Yeah? Context is important. Context. Not only we alone as economists, but in context. Please, next slide. It is relation to other sciences, mathematics, natural sciences, geography, history, ethics and religion, of course, and politics, of course. Next. The boundaries between the sub-disciplines are conventional and fluid. Yeah, these boundaries are fluid. Next. We are the economists. We all are the economists. I, you, and you, and you. Yeah? We have 7 functions of economic development. First, to describe how is. We should to describe how is. We should to measure how many, how much. Mathematics is always important. We should to explain reason why. Why is this? Why is this phenomenon? Why is this process? We should to compare time and space. We should evaluate. Assessment is good or bad. We should to make prognosis, forecast what will be in future. And 7, to propose, to find best solution, recommendation for my household, my company, my region, my country. Yeah? It is the same, it is similar. Next slide. We have positive economics, normative economics, and applied economics, and finance. Next. My colleague from Wharton, from University of Pennsylvania, did this special graphic, very complicated. It is graphic that shows us several connection, several interconnection between economic, socio-economic, geopolitical, and political. You can see several feedback. Next slide. It is my gift, Mr. Dean, for you and for Mrs. Happy, maybe, yeah? This slide, it is my gift. No, please come, yeah? You can see on the left, you have several instruments: interest rate, import duties, tax rate, exchange rate. And you can see several areas: GDP, unemployment, inflation rate, state budget balance, balance of trade balance, stock exchange, financial condition of exporting enterprise, financial condition of importing enterprise, financial condition of household. And you can fulfill this graphic. Yeah? It is special task for you in next weeks. Next, please. Next, please. Okay. Next. It is possible to predict the future. This is my question. Young generation is important. Yeah? Future is important. Past is important, of course, but future is important more. Next. We formulate several predictions. One of the interesting predictions from internet, you can see this maybe not to see, but for example, the Russia-Ukraine war will not end in this year. Global recession risk is high. For example, India will have a strong year, and so on. Inflation will begin to cool off, and so on and so on. In December or in January next year, we can see it is prediction good or not good, yeah? Interesting, or only prediction. This prediction we have, as economists, we have great problems with prediction. How to be, yeah? Next, please. The world is interconnected and multipolar. The future is Asian. The future is Asian, yeah? Europe is stagnating and aging. America is busy managing as unequal distribution of wealth, but Asia is booming. Asian tigers. Indonesia belongs to this group. From my perspective, Indonesia is tiger, Asian tiger. Yeah? Next, I know I have this book at home. Yeah? Very interesting book. The future is Asian. Mr. Parao Khanna. Next. I am realist. 10% I am optimist. But 10% I am pessimist. Next. But pessimist never won any battle. Next. A pessimist, no. sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Winston Churchill, all interesting sentence. Next. Better change. I believe that better change is possible. Business, trade, and usual, this time is different. There are several approaches. Business, trade is as usual, or this time is different. What will be next year? It is interesting for us. Next. Global order in the 21st century. Global order. Next. It's about population. You can see China, India, China, Indonesia, Mexico, and so on. And next, please. Please, next. And this year and next year, 2050, you can see India, China, USA, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Indonesia. Sixth place, sixth position. Yeah? Now you have 280 million person, yeah, in Indonesia. But in this, you can see 300 million. Yeah? Very, very interesting position. For me, for Poland is another question. Yeah? Next. It is GDP, United States and China, and you can find Indonesia and India, and so on and so on. Next. About globalization. Very shortly, very briefly. You know this word globalization. Next. What is globalization? Next. Growth, science, technology, communication, environment, culture, and wealth. Globalization is universal word. Next. Yeah, there are several approaches to globalization. Yeah, next. Impact of globalization, increased trade, greater competition, economies of scale, increased capital and labor mobility, and monopoly power of multinationals, structural unemployment, tax avoidance easier, and so on. Next. Winners and losers of globalization processes. Countries, regions, branches, companies and firms, banks and households. There, several are winners and several are victims, losers. I hope so, that Indonesia belongs to winners. I hope so. Yeah? As guest, I am guest only here. Yeah? Please, next. Success. I wish Indonesian people, your country, success. But it depends. Science. Science is important. Science, teaching, and so on. Technology, intellectual property, consumer demand, business model, talent, organization, capital, productivity, regulatory, of course. Next slide. And external environment and internal environment is, of course, economic, technological, global, competitive, social, demographic, and political, legal. Next. Economic megatrends. Next. Social megatrends. Next. Science and technology. Next. Ecosystem and ecology. Next. Set of challenges in an interconnected world. Dear guests, I have prepared two big presentations. My time is limited. Mrs. Happy will be glad that I leave this presentation, yeah, for you here. You can have in your iPad and so on, yeah, all. But I will only speak about general question, yeah. Next, global risk. VUCA, you can this. VUCA Bani. Next. Black swan, this word from Dr. Taleb. We have now several black swans. For example, war between Russia and Ukraine. I evaluate very high this global risk report. Late, this is newest report. Next. Several interesting information maybe will be useful to your essay, to your diploma, thesis, and so on. Next. Here you have global risk in 2 years and 10 years. It is interesting. Next. Currently manifesting rings. Very interesting graphic, but my time is limited, sorry. Next. Economic risk. Next. Environmental risk. Geopolitical risk. Technological risk, risk, and social risk. Food crisis, pandemic outbreak, and so on and so on. Next. No society can surely be flourishing and happy, of which by far the greater part of the numbers are poor and miserable. Adam Smith's very old sentence. Next. Maybe you know this book of Thomas Piketty, Capital in the 21st Century. It will be interesting for you. I hope this book is in your library. I hope so. Yeah, it's popular in Europe, and not only in Europe. Yeah. Next. General tendency is of the rich to get richer, often at the expense of the poor. Next. In Europe, we have such proportion. Upper class, top 10%, middle class, mid 40%, and lower class, the bottom 50%. I don't know how it's in Indonesia. Yeah, this structure, this proportion, this is open question. Now this is only old structure. Next. Sustainability. Next. Very interesting book and can recommend this book, about economic growth. Next. Determinants of short-term growth. Interesting to study for you. Next. Stakeholders of development. This is your area. You study development, economic development. Yeah? Also everything, business, diplomacy, municipalities, governments, universities, of course, your university, media, finance, development agencies, business association. Everything is important if we have find methods, factors, drivers for development. Next. It is my idea, magical pentagon, game of interest between foreign environment, parliament and government, corporation and employees. Next. Sustainable growth. My topic for today. Yeah. Sustainability. The concept includes economic growth and development, economic stability, competitiveness, healthy environment and sound environmental practice, an innovative and knowledge-based economy, income security and employment stability, as well as respect of cultural experience of societies. Cultural experiences. Thank you very much for this dance at the beginning of my lecture. Yeah? It's very, very interesting for me, for my life. Next. Trust, long-term thinking, collaborative massive stakeholder action, and global governance. That it is important if we say about sustainability. Next. You know this graphic very good. UN Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals. It is great discussion. It is only utopian thinking. It is true, it is possible. Several people say, yeah, it is long-term thinking. We must to do. Yeah? You have no poverty, for example, no poverty. and several another climate action and so on. Next. Next. The role of international trade on sustainable development. Next. Oh, this is topic of my lecture. Relationship, interdependence, feedback between international trade and sustainable development. Feedback. International trade and sustainable development. Next. It is important. Next. Forms on international economic relations, international trade in goods and services, movement of capital, labor migration, international exchange of knowledge, for example, on today, and international currency and settlement relations. Next. International trade. Very shortly, very briefly. Next. International trade, import, export, and so on and so on. Globalization, pricing, law, origin, exchange rate, insurance, documents. You can study during your study. Yeah? Next. Meaning, definition, feature, foreign trade, international trade. Next. Types of international trade. Next. Import, export, and so on. Definition, I can say about this topic many hours. Yeah? Next. Next. What is international trade, exchange of capital goods, of services, and so on and so on. It is crucial for the consequence of globalization. Next. Importance of international trade. It is from several books. Next. Importance of international trade. Next. Benefits of international trade. I hope so that Indonesia is a winner from international trade. I hope so. Benefits. Next. And disadvantages of international trade. They are so. Yeah. For example, over-specialization. To lead diversification. Next. Ability to sell, ability to earn, ability to attract. Next. Internal partners, trade and competitiveness. Competitiveness in international trade, very important question. Next. International finance, this is my area. I can study. Next. Next. Here you can find in this presentation largest countries or regions by total international trade from World Trade Organization. Next. Commodities by value. Next. Fortune Global 500 list, Walmart, Saudi Aramco, State Grid, Amazon, and so on and so on. Next. Breakdown by country. Next. Next. By region, East Asia. East Asia has first position, global share, in global share. 42%. Next. General overview. You know everything about Indonesia. For me, it is interesting. 16th economy in the world, in total export, in total import, in GDP, number 61, most complex economy according to the Economic Complexity Index. Next. Indonesia, several interesting data, interesting for me. Next. Exports, oh, you know this. What export Indonesia? Biggest exporter in palm oil, and so on and so on. Next. Imports, what imports Indonesia. Next. Next. Several sources, several interesting books. In internet, I have found better trade for sustainable development. Interesting book. Next, report. Yeah. Next, contents. You can study this presentation after my lecture at home from your iPad, from your iPhone. Next. global value chains after COVID-19 crisis. Next, voluntary sustainability standards. Next, relationship between FECC and trade. According to the literature, PSS can be catalyst or barriers to trade. Next. Next. They are economic regulation, environmental regulation, and social regulation, and labor standards. Next. Sustainable investment. I hope so that in Indonesia it is important too. Next. Economic security for all countries, for Poland, for Indonesia, they are very important. Economic security. It is my dream, economic security of Poland. Next. You see that we are neighbor of Ukraine. Yeah? This war is not only theory, it is practice. Yeah? Each day we hear about consequences of this war. What is important in sustainable development? Values, institution, economic policy. Next. Program 5I for Poland. Institution, good institution, intelligent investments, good innovation, intelligent immigration, and inclusivity. Inclusive. International migration, only 30 seconds. Next. Yeah. Migration, you know this. Next is some data, is destination, left, and origin. You have, see, Indonesia. We have in Poland now only over 10,000 immigrants from Indonesia. They are no refugees, they are workers, good workers from Indonesia. Yeah? Only 10,000 people we have in Poland. Yeah? Next, but we have 1 million, over 1 million refugees and immigrants from Ukraine. It is consequence of war. There are list of pros and cons of immigration, positive sides and negative sides. Next. Oh, this is only joke. Last position is Poland, Polandia. It is, we discuss in Poland. You can see problem. Today I have problem. Tuesday I have problem. Yeah? Tomorrow, after tomorrow, next problem, and on Friday problem. Agreed. Yeah? Sorry. Indonesia. Yeah, I have not founded Indonesia. I don't know which approach is similar to Indonesia. Better is this first, problem and solution. Today problem, tomorrow solution. It will be better, yeah? Good. Next. Trust in government. Sorry, in Poland, the trust in government is relatively low. Next. Newest data, Poland is third. It is not a good situation, trust in government. I hope so that in Indonesia the trust in government is higher. I hope so. Next. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Warren Buffett, you know this name probably. Now, next slide. My time is limited, sorry. What do I, governance indicators? World Bank. Next. Next. What are Poles afraid of? Global economic crisis, illness of difficult recovery, no income or unemployment, deaths among family and friends, financial problems in the country, travel restriction, permanent restriction on movement. I am not afraid of the consequences. Next slide. Next. Oh, it is newest data from last week. For me, it would be interesting to see your opinion. This opinion of students and so on from Polandia. Yeah? Young people is concerned about the future. Inflation and cost of living, 72%. Yeah? Inflation and cost of living. Personal, financial and material situation. People's mental condition. The state of the rule of law in Poland. Unemployment. Quality of personal relationship with other people. Consequences of climate change, 33%. What will be in future? Environmental condition, war in Ukraine, and having a satisfying job. Next. Next. There are interesting report about human behavior, several value, family, relationship, financial security, belonging, community, and so on and so on. Next slide. There is no alternative. There are thousands of alternatives. This Chinese approach. We have several approaches. Yeah. Next. Next. Very interesting sentence for David Attenborough, very popular in Europe, not only in Europe. Anyone who believes in the growth on a physically finite planet is either mad or an economist. It is very, very interesting approach. I believe that Attenborough have right. Next. Trees of humanity, very old list, always. Actually, financial epidemic, consumption, and so on. A natural disaster, falling into poverty. Next. Next. Market versus state. This discussion we have in Poland all time. Yeah? Who has right? Market versus state. Next. I believe that the good proportion is in the middle. In the middle. State is important and free market is important too. Yeah? But it depends from country, from situation. Next slide. Disintermediation, this topic for great discussion. Next slide. Model of modern bank. Next slide. About the banking, I can say many hours, many days. Banking is my main area. Next slide. Fundamentals of good banking. Next slide. Milton Friedman said, the social responsibility of business is to increase profit. Next. No. Business or business, no. It's more than just business. And we say social corporate responsibility. Who has right? Who has right? Next. Windfall tax. We have windfall tax. Next. Transnational corporation. Next. Happiness. Interesting. I study each year this report. Happiness. World Happiness Report. Next. Key factors: physical, mental health, human relation, and so on and so on. Social support, personal freedom, lack of corruption, effective government, and so on. They are factors. Next. Oh, this is the structure. You can see or not. Maybe in your laptop, in your computer, you can see. Next. And Poland has this position, and Indonesia such position. But it is relative. It is relative. Next. Sustainable development. Big discussion. Next. water, energy, land use, sustainability, climate change, biodiversity, and so on. Next. Oh, this essence, this is the core of this approach. How to combine environment, economic and social factors. Next. And next. Next. This compare between corporate social responsibility and environmental, social and governance. Next. Next. My time is limited, sorry. Mrs. Happy will be not glad. Next. 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 My special ask to you now, please, what rules govern the world in the era of globalization and deglobalization? And second one, what is responsible for our future development, prosperity for world? Next. My idea, my answer is, what govern, who rules now? Nobody. God. All a little bit. Money. International organization. G20. Maybe political class, politicians, the parties, generals, mass media, central bankers, investment bankers, commercial bankers, and so on and so on. You can see. And special ask to you now, next slide. If you scan this, if you scan now with your iPhone, yeah, please scan this, yeah, and you can answer me today after this lecture or during this lecture. Please make the scan of this record and please answer your opinion. Yeah? It will be very interesting for my student in Polandia. What do you think about this? You can scan this, this from your site, I don't know. Probably it's possible, yeah? First question, who or what rules work in the era of globalization? Who is responsible for future, for development, for prosperity, for the world? And second one, what are the main drivers of Indonesia's international trade? It will be, of course, from Indonesian perspective. Yeah? I make such investigation in Poland. I can compare Indonesian and Polish experiences. Next slide. Next. 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 We have several arts of capitalism. I think that capitalism with a human face will be good solution. Sustainable capitalism, socially responsible capitalism, not neoliberal capitalism. Yeah? I can not agree after Polish experiences. Next. Next. Scientia potesta says, knowledge is power. Next. Next. It is very interesting. Economics can save more people than a doctor, physician, can make real good. People do not die of hunger, the climate, or for similar reasons, but by incompetent economic management of the country. Next. Next. Finance is easy. From where? Money. How to spend this money. But this only provocation. Next. Next. Our time is limited, sorry. Next. economist who is only an economist is not only a boring, but is down in dangerous. Mr. Hayek, very popular economist from Austria. Next. This methodological approaches, you can find this in my presentation. Next. Economics and finance is a never-ending challenge. Economics and finance is both black and beautiful science. Next. Crisis. You can find in my presentation very many slides about crisis. I don't like this word crisis. I don't like this word. But we should use this fatal, not good word. Yeah? Crisis. Next. We have several crises. Next. Crisis had many reasons, not only one reason, many reasons. Next. Golden rules, recommendation, you can study at home. You can study this at home. Next. I must finish my lecture. Next. Successful entrepreneurs. 10D. Very interesting. Maybe you plan to establish a firm after study. It's possible and maybe necessary. Next. Practical tips. Next. SWOT analysis. Next. John Bogle, enough. Very interesting book. Next. About money. Next. About life. About business. Legendary Jack Welch. We participate in a global economic war. Jack Welch was in Poland, in Warsaw. Next. And I have in this presentation 25 lessons from Jack Welch. You can study this. You can find this in the internet, of course. Yeah. Next. And at the end, yeah, I would like to compare Indonesia and Poland. Comparison. Next. You see Indonesia, big, great country, population, area, many islands, yeah? Number of languages, member of G20, member of ASEAN, and Poland, only 38 million people, yeah? Small country. Area, number of languages, member of EU, European Union, and NATO, Poland and Indonesia. Next. Maybe we are very similar. Our flags, our symbols, our flags are similar, yeah? You know this. Next. Even more similarities. Our history, complicated history, and our cultural diversity. Your culture is for me very, very interesting. I plan will be next week in Bali, yeah? Study another or a similar culture. Next. This year, the first book by Indonesian author was translated to Polish language, directly from Indonesian language. Yeah? Before, it was translation from English. Now, it's first, it is a book from, of Mrs. No, it's very difficult name for me. Next. sorry for my question. In internet, I have funded several challenges for Indonesia. Economic growth, state budget, deficit. I don't know if it is true or not. It is open question. I, as economist, I would like to study. Maybe we can cooperate. Mr. Dean said me that it's possible to cooperate in future between our universities. Yeah? Maybe common articles and so on. Next. It is position in Global Innovation Index. Next. Some data about Indonesia. Next. And some data about Poland, about Polandia. Next. At the end, my country, my city, my university. This year, Republic of Poland. Next. It is on the card, on the map. Next. Warsaw, our languages, Polish language, Kashubian, Belarusian, Lithuanian, German, ethnic groups. Polish, of course, and Silesian, Belarusian, German, Ukrainian, Kashubian. I speak German too. Yeah, I speak German. My second language is German. Many contacts with Germany, our neighbor, important neighbor. Next, some interesting data from our complicated history. Your history in Indonesia is complicated too. Next, population, GDP per capita, Gini, Human Development Index, currency. You have rupiah, we have zloty. Yeah? Next one. Interesting. We are interested in developing concrete form of cooperation. Economy, energy, ecology, transport, social affairs, culture. For example, we import coal from Indonesia to Poland. It was very important. Yeah. Next. Welcome to Poland, of course. It is Szczecin, western part, north. Szczecin, this is my area. You can see Poznań. Poznań is head office. Szczecin, it is economic faculty in Szczecin. Very big faculty. We have now 4,000 students in this faculty. Next, my city, my university. University Merito. Szczecin, very difficult name. Next. Some picture from Szczecin. Our urban. Next. Mr. Dimas, you were in Poland? Yeah. Next. Our castle in Szczecin. Next. Moment. Come. Oh, you see this white. What is this white? Who knows? What is this white? White color. It is snow. You can meet snow in Indonesia. Snow. When? Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, there's Szczecin. Next. On the Baltic. Next. Our municipality hall is green building. Next. Our statue. Next. Our Philharmonic hall. Very interesting architecture. Next. Our gallerias. Oh, yeah, of course. Next. This university WSB Meritor Szczecin, my university in Szczecin. Next. Oh, some photo from my university. They are my students after graduation. This newest group, it was in June this year. Yeah. Next, there, my students from university. Next. Education is not something you can finish. We have no time to lose. Time is important. My time is important too. I should end. Next. Competency of the future. This for you. Next. Sky only is the limit. Sky. I want. You should say, I want. I want. I must. I should. Maybe this is possible to be a boss or leader. You plan, I think, academic career or practical career. Beginning always is the hardest. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. Next. 10 steps to success. Barriers. Yeah. Several barriers from women. Next. From men. Forbes key to success. Very old. Next. Richard Jenner, you can study. We don't have time. Richard Jenner. Next. Stay in the game and so on. Very interesting list. Next. Next. Artificial intelligence. What do you think about this? It will be interesting for me. My students discuss with me about artificial intelligence in economics and finance. What will be with us? About our articles, books, about our final thesis. What will be? How big impact has artificial intelligence of our activity? Next. Harari said that AI has hacked the operating system on human civilization. Next. Next. Thank you for your attention. Dziękuję. Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you very much, Professor Franceschi. That's okay. Thank you very much. That was a very informative presentation, and thank you for your kind introduction to Poland. Maybe next time we will go to Poland near in the future, ya? Mau nggak ke Poland? Mau, saya juga mau kali. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will move to our second speaker, Dr. Dia Titis. Are you there? We cannot hear your voice. Dr. Titis. We cannot hear your voice yet.
Okay, Sister Mary. Maybe I have used two device to back up. I'm sorry. Because previously I could use my mic. I don't know whether maybe the networking. Thank you.
Yeah.
So is my clear? My voice is clear
Yeah,
now.
it's clear. Okay, Dr. Titis,
Thank you.
before we start your session, I will give a brief introduction first. Dr. Titis obtained her doctoral degree in Islamic University of Malaysia. She's an expert in development economics and international trade. She also has numerous publications in journals, articles, and presented papers in many various international conferences. Without any further ado, please welcome Dr. Dia Titis Kusamawardhani. The screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Happy Fabrina, for the time. The Honorable Deputy Dean for Finance and Infrastructure, Dr. Andas Adi Prasetyo, MSc AKCA, the Honorable Head of Development Economic Study Program, Bapak Muhammad Sri Wahyudi Suliswanto, SAME, the Honorable Secretary Executive of Development Economic Study Program, Bapak Setio Wahyu Sulistiono, SAME, the Honorable Prof. Stainlaw Fletchersky from WSB University Polandia, Mrs. Happy Fabrina as moderator, the Honorable lecturers and at Development Economics Study Program, the Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, and all students. Thank you very much for the opportunity today. I'd love to deliver my topics about international trade and on relevance to the sustainable development. Okay, allow me to share screen. Thank you. Okay. So the 2030 agenda for sustainable development recognized international trade and engine as an engine for inclusive economic growth and also poverty reductions, and an important means to achieve the sustainable development goals or SDGs. And then the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development of the United Nations constitutes the most important and comprehensive global sustainable development agenda for the next decade. It is known for the next decade. It is known for its far-reaching and ambitious vision with its 17 Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs and 169 targets that are listed as part of the so-called Universal Policy Agenda by United Nations 2015. In the 2015 agenda, and especially in SDG 17, international trade is singled out as a key policy instrument to contribute to all other SDGs. And the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development defines international trade as an engine for inclusive economic growth and poverty reduction that contributes to the promotion of sustainable development. Okay, my name is Dia Titis Kusumawardhani. As moderator introduced me to all of the participants. I'm from UMY, the lecturer at Economic Study Program, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. So the first introduction to international trade and sustainable development. Here the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Here SDGs provide a comprehensive framework for understanding and promoting sustainable development, a global scale. Several of these goals are directly related to international trade, as the goal number 8, decent work and economic growth, and also goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. And here, international trade and also sustainable development relevance to the environmental sustainability. So here I want to relate how trade and environmental sustainability here in how environment impact on trade. Explore how international trade can have both positive and also negative impact on the environment. Include discussion of carbon emissions and also deforestation, bushfire, yeah, and then also overfishing. And this is very hot issues in the environmental sustainability. And also one more is about climate change. So here, fair trade and ethical consumptions. Fair trade principle, learn about the principle of fair trade, which aim to convince, or we want to propose that there will be an equitable trading relationship and also better working conditions, particularly for developing countries. Okay, and then trade agreement and sustainable development. Here, many modern agreements include provision related to labor standards and also environmental protections and sustainable development. Here, the examples include the environmental chapter in agreement like United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement or USMCA. And then we want to relate also the international trade with the poverty reduction, because here the poverty reduction is one of the goals in the sustainable development goals. Here we explore on how international trade can contribute to the poverty alleviations, by creating jobs, fostering economic growth, and also improving access to the global market for developing countries. And here, there is a pro and cons also about international trade, the role of international trade on sustainable development. Here are the challenges and also controversies. There is trade-off. So here, we should understand the trade-off and challenges involved in balancing economic growth through trade with the environmental and social concern. For example, increased trade may lead to greater resource consumptions and also income inequality and also environmental exploitations. Okay, and here I also raised the case study about the specific case study of countries or regions that have successfully integrated the sustainable development into their trade policies. This could include the example from countries like Costa Rica and their focus on sustainable agriculture. Okay, and then policy recommendations. We explore the policy recommendation and the best practice for government and then international organization and business to promote sustainable development through trade. This may include incentive for green technology or responsible sourcing practice. Nowadays, the consumers, maybe they have awareness to consume the green product, and also for the producer, they might more aware to produce a more green product or to conserve the environment. And then about the future trend, we stay informed about in emerging trend and innovation in the international trade and also sustainable development, such as the blockchain technology for transparent supply chain or circular economy models. This is the future trend will be, we have the system like blockchain technology, and this is to keep the transparency of supply chains. And then related to international trade and also sustainable development, this may an opportunity for the academic research and also reports, access academic papers, report from international organization, for example, United Nations, the World Bank Organization, or the World Trade Organization, WTO, and also UN Comtrade, and the think tank of publication that delve deeper into the relationship between international trade and also sustainable development. And all in all, by studying this material and staying informed about the development of international trade and also sustainable development, here we could gain a better understanding of the complex evolving nature of this important intersection. Additionally, we could contribute to discussion and initiatives aimed at promoting sustainability in the global trade. Okay, and then about the sustainable development and also the international trade, one of the proposals that might be proposed by the developing country is that we should enhance and strengthen the ASEAN circle. Yeah, here it's very good to have the strong trade agreement among ASEAN countries and also Asian countries, and also Muslim countries, in OIC, or Organization of Islamic Cooperations, to have an agreement related to how to maintain the environment, to conserve the environment, and to have the strong trade agreement that also consider about the sustainable development goals. I think it's all from me. Maybe we can have the further discussions about the role of international trade on sustainable development. And thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Titis. We are very delighted, and it truly becomes a new insight for us. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all the audiences here, not only students, but also the lecturers here, to address their questions, opinions, or maybe suggestions to our speakers today. Ada yang mau bertanya? 3 questions. Okay, over there. The one with glasses. Yeah, we have the microphone. Who? Okay, you can go to the center. Miss with the glasses. You, yes, you. Name and class, yeah? Waalaikumsalam.
Baik, saya ulangi lagi ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone, to all. My name is Salsabila Firda Amalia. Aduh, dredeg banget saya, Bu.
She's nervous. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Calm down. You can do it.
I'm sorry before my English is not good well, so I'm sorry if I have ya begitulah pokoknya mohon maaf kalau saya ada bahasa Inggrisnya agak salah atau apa, mohon maaf. Saya ada 3 pertanyaan untuk Bapak Profesor Stanislaw Franceschi. Yang pertama, what is most important aspect of economy? Number 2, what do you think about economic condition of Indonesia? And the last but not least, what the different economic system in Poland and Indonesia? Karena bisa dimengerti dari dulu Indonesia itu masih negara berkembang dan belum termasuk negara maju. Apakah ada perbedaan yang spesifik dari sistem ekonomi di Indonesia dengan Polandia? Seperti itu.
Is there any differences between the economy in Indonesia and Poland? Since we, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salsa. Is it Salsa? Salsa, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Salsa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, there are 3 questions. First question is, what is the important aspect of economy? The second one is, apa tadi ya? The second one, apa tadi, Salsa? Nomor 2. Okay, what do you think about Indonesian economy right now? The second question. Economy. And the third one is, what is the difference between Indonesia's economy and Poland economy, since we are still developing countries? Yeah, and what should we do? Yeah. Okay, that's 3 questions. Okay, thank you. Yes, you can answer the questions right now.
Okay, thank you very much for this question, for these comments. It's difficult to answer, of course. Difficult, why? My knowledge about Indonesian economy is very poor, of course, yeah? I would like to study more information, more reports from think tanks and so on. But your economy, in my opinion, is great, is big challenges, of course, big challenges and big chances, big opportunities. So much people, big country, interesting demography, interesting dynamic. The structure of economics, of course, is very important. In Poland has small. In Europe, we have good position, of course, but Europe is stagnating, in my opinion. We have problems with demography, of course, for aging problems. You have in Indonesia great dynamic, and the structure of your economy, it is opportunity to develop. It is important to think and to find good political solution to sustainable development. And how to use international trade to develop the sustainable development, good growth, without inflation, without unemployment, with good position of your rupiah, and so on and so on. Many challenges. The world is complicated now. Several reasons. I don't know what will be in future, next year, after year. My friend, Mr. Professor Grzegorz Kołotko, famous economist from Poland, said that everything is possible, but everything since it seems good or not good. I am optimist, but moderate optimist, not fully optimistic approach. Thank you very much for this opinion. My important opinion is that education is for my student and for you in this lecture hall today is big challenge. It depends of you. You are the chance of Indonesia, East Java, Malang, and so on, so on. It is, from my point of view, very, very interesting challenge. If I compare my students in Poland and students in Indonesia, the same intelligent faces. I see many intelligent faces. Yeah? This is our chance. I hope I will be in future more information about Indonesian economy. Maybe we try with Mrs. Happy, for example, to try the comparative analysis to make, yeah, some data and so on. This is our task, our goal. It is possible, of course, yeah. I see, yeah. But it is, for me, it is point number 0, number 1, good. Yeah, I must study Indonesian economy, yeah. But it's challenge for me too.
Thank you very much, Professor Stanislaw. Is there any other question? Okay, right there. Yeah, Mas? Yes.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Ifkiwardana. I'm from Group 4. Permission to ask Mr. Pertanyaan yang pertama, why is the role of society an important component in sustainable development? And dan yang terakhir, how do the economic structure of Indonesia and Polandia different, and what impact does this here on their respective trade pattern and sustainable development effort? Oke, terima kasih.
Can you repeat the questions number 2? Pertanyaan nomor 2 tadi apa? Bahasa Indonesia aja.
Apa perbedaan struktur ekonomi Indonesia dan Polandia, dan apa dampaknya terhadap para perdagangan dan upaya pembangunan berkelanjutan di kedua negara?
The first question is the role of society for sustainable development, and the second one, he talked about trade and sustainable development, the difference between Indonesia and Poland, but he said that you didn't have enough data from Indonesia. Maybe you can tell them about in Poland.
Second person, only now or maybe next person?
Okay, next person. Okay, next question. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning everyone, and good morning Mr. Stanislaw. My name is Anissa Augustina, you can call me Nisa. I have two questions for you. I just survey from the internet if unemployment rate Poland lower 0.5% than Indonesia. And then I have question for you, how Poland decrease their economic and how Poland give their people to have a satisfying job for solving their economic. Should I have two questions.
Question number 2.
Question number 2 is how Poland give their people to have a satisfying job for solving their economic.
Give satisfying job. Okay. Okay, thank you, Nisa.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for these comments and for this question. Very, very interesting for me. First and second. First, we have made during last 30 years in Poland big progress in economy. Yeah? It is after transformation, after these big changes in the year 1989, it's big progress in Poland, but we have several challenges, of course. In my opinion, the bad situation is now with inflation rate. We have now about 10% inflation rate in Poland, 10%. Our goal of our central bank is 2.5, this goal of central bank. But we have now 10%. In previous year was 18%. It is progress, of course, but this inflation rate is too high. It is dangerous for our development, yeah? But we have a good unemployment rate, only 4-5%. I don't know how it's in Indonesia, inflation rate and unemployment rate. Mrs. Happy. Inflation rate? Ah, yeah, it's good. It's good. Unemployment rate? More. Yeah. It is very interesting challenge for us how to have good, high GDP rate, lower inflation rate, and low unemployment rate, and good balance in international trade, good situation in household, in companies, and so on. How to combine this? This is the biggest challenge. Our structure in Poland is now very good, but many people from Poland work abroad, yeah, in Germany and so on. Also, we stand now before several challenges. I think that Indonesia has similar situation. We have agriculture, of course, we have industry, and we have services. We have good contacts with European Union countries, with Germany first of all. Germany is our main partner in international trade. For you, probably China, I hope so, yeah, India, and USA, yeah. India has good image in Poland, India, and Indonesia too. Good image as a very, very intelligent policy, intelligent politics, yeah. And your president is famous in Poland. We discuss, Indonesia had a good president, yeah. Sorry for this political question, but it is interesting for us, yeah. For me, this question will be challenged in next weeks, next months, and I hope my knowledge about Indonesian economy will be more and more. Maybe we try to meet after 2 years or 3 years, and we will discuss more. Maybe we can discuss after this lecture, yeah? And my special ask, I would like to make a photo to this first group and second group for my university, yeah? Okay?
Thank you very much, Professor Stanislaw, for the answer. Udah nggak ada yang tanya lagi kan ya? Nanti maybe after the session you can ask directly to the professor, so you will get the answer directly. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think that was the last question, and also it becomes a closure for this session.
Sorry, I have special small comments to the lecture of Mrs. Dr. Vardani. Yeah? Yeah, Titi.
Yes, Prof. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your lecture. It's similar to mine. It is very intelligent, many intelligent information. My approach to this problem is similar. Yeah, how to combine international trade with sustainable development. It is a big challenge for Poland, for Indonesia, for China, for India, and for another countries. Thank you very much for your interesting lecture. Mrs. Happy will send me your presentation. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your comment. I'm happy to hear that, and I hope I could visit you to Poland someday. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your insight and enlightenment to all of us, and fruitful knowledge in the future. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you very much, Dr. Titis, for coming online. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we conclude this impactful conference. International trade's role in sustainable development is undeniable. By embracing responsible practices, we can harness its potential to create a more equitable, prosperous, and environmentally conscious world. As we draw this curtain on this enlightening discourse, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speakers, engaged participants, and tireless organizing team. Thank you all for contributing to this enriching exchange of knowledge and ideas. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to Zia.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the end of the International Guest Lecture, The Role of International Trade on Sustainable Development. But before we really have to end this International Guest Lecture, there will be souvenirs that were given by the Head of Study Program and Photo Session.